Welcome you all for the session of Design of Machine Elements 1. So, I am Purushottam, working as Assistant Professor in Department of Mechanical Engineering at Maharaja Institute of Technology, Mysore. So, in the previous sessions, our beloved colleagues, they covered the topics like what do you mean by machine design, then the process of machine design, mechanical properties, engineering materials, as well as the review of stresses like uniaxial stress, biaxial stress, as well as the plane stress. Then corresponding to that, the problem, some of the problems were solved on plane stress system as well as the combined stress system, as well as they completed the factor of safety. In today's session, we are going to see about the theories of failure. So, first of all, we have to know what are theories of failure and need of theories of failure. So, consider a machine element. So, consider this will be a machine member or component or machine element which is subjected to uniaxial stress system. That means the load which is going to applied at one direction out of three mutually perpendicular direction. That means either it may be axial or it may be bending or it may be twisting. But compared to this, so we can easily find out the stresses induced in this element which is subjected to uniaxial stress system. So based on that, we can calculate the dimensions, either it may be diameter, length or thickness. We can calculate the dimensions of that component. That means we are going to design a machine element for uniaxial stress system. But in practical scenario, at many cases, the machine element or member or component which is subjected to several types of loads at a time. That means which is subjected to combined loading conditions. For example, the power screw. So which is used to lift the load or lower the load. The power screw means which is going to have a turning moment or torsional moment, as well as the load that I have to lift and lower, which causes the axial load. That means the power screw which is subjected to torsional moment as well as the axial load, combined load. So in the same case, the overhang crank due to the rotation which is subjected to torsional load, as well as due to overhanging condition which is subjected to bending moment. That means in the overhang crank there is twisting moment or turning moment, due to that shear stress will be induced, and due to the bending moment the bending stress will be induced. In the same way, connecting rod and crankshaft which is subjected to complex type of loading conditions. So the failure of such elements, that means the element which is subjected to combined loading conditions, so which is broadly classified into two types. One is elastic failure and yielding. Second one is fracture. The first one is elastic failure and yielding, second one is fracture. In elastic failure, so which results in excessive deformation which makes unfit to perform the specified function. So in yielding, which results in excessive plastic deformation when yield point stress reached. So that means due to the performance of the machine element, unsatisfactory performance of the machine element, we are going to consider that is as failure. Then coming to fracture, here which results in the machine component which is going to break into two or more pieces. So which is considered as fracture. So the failure which doesn't mean that, so which has to be break into two or more parts. So when the machine element or component which is not satisfactorily comprehending its function, then which is also considered as failure. So theories of failure which is going to applicable for elastic failure of machine parts. Theories of failure which is going to applicable only for elastic failure of machine parts. Now coming to design of these elements or the machine members or component which is subjected to the combined loading condition. Coming to this type of design of this type of elements, then so we are going to design these machine elements which is subjected to complex stress system or loading condition related to experimentally determine mechanical properties for the current conditions, but it is not possible to test for the different loading conditions. Just because, so if you are in a test rig, if the member which is subjected to axial load, bending load, combination of axial load, bending load, or axial load, torsional load, or axial load, bending load, torsional load, combination of for these loading conditions, we cannot easily find out the mechanical properties. In such conditions, what we are going to do in practice, we are going to take the mechanical properties which is obtained from the simple standard specimen of tensile test. So we are going to consider the mechanical properties which is obtained from simple standard tensile specimen. So from this, we are going to get the yield strength, ultimate strength, and percentage of elongation. We are going to get these things. Then, so that means simple tension test, which means the machine element or the specimen which is loaded axially in tension without bending moment, without torsion, or without any combination of load. So which is called as simple tension test. Now, these theories of failure which going to helps us to relate the mechanical properties obtained from the simple tension test to the design of machine elements which is going to subject it for combined loading condition. That means which is going to relate the strength of the machine component which is subjected to complex loading condition with the mechanical properties obtained from the simple tension test. By using this data, we can easily design the machine component which is subjected to the complex loading condition. So based on this, several theories of failures are proposed based on the criteria of hypothesis of failure. So in that, major theories of failures are maximum normal stress theory, maximum shear stress theory, maximum principal strain theory, maximum total strain energy theory, shear energy theory, or distortion energy theory. Now let us see the theories of failure one by one. In that, first one is maximum normal stress theory, which is also called as Rankine's theory, which is also called as maximum principal stress theory. Okay. So before coming to this theory, we have to know the meaning of principal stress. So consider a stress element. So in that, at any plane, that means at some plane, the maximum normal stress will be present with zero shear stress. So then that plane is called as major principal plane. Then the corresponding stress is called as major principal stress or maximum principal stress. Then corresponding strain, which is also called as maximum principal strain. Now, this theory states that the failure of mechanical component subjected to biaxial or triaxial stresses occurs when the maximum principal stress at any point in a component which becomes equal to yield or ultimate strength of the material. So corresponding to the standard specimen of tensile test. That means the maximum principal stress which is obtained from the combined loading condition, when that becomes equal to the yield strength or ultimate strength of that is obtained from simple tension test, standard specimen of simple tension test, when these two are becomes equal to match each other, then we can find out the strength of the material. From this we can predict the failure of the material. So according to this statement, so the failure which occurs, so before that I am going to consider sigma 1, sigma 2 and sigma 3. These are the principal stresses. In this, sigma 1 is greater than sigma 2, sigma 2 is greater than sigma 3. That means sigma 1 which becomes maximum principal stress, or we can call it as major principal stress. Now coming to at failure. So at failure, according to this definition, we can say this. So when maximum stress, that is sigma 1 which becomes equal to yield strength of the material at standard tension test. So when sigma 1 which is equal to sigma yt, or sigma 1 which is equal to ultimate strength of the standard tension test material. So for these cases, now I will consider, so for safe design, we need to consider the factor of safety. Just because the deriving of these equations, which comprises many assumptions as well as the mechanical component to subjected to many combined loading condition, uneven loading conditions. For this we need to consider the factor of safety. Now for safe design, I am going to consider sigma 1, which is equal to sigma yt by FOS, that is factor of safety. So now I can call this as sigma yt by FOS, which is equal to sigma E, which can be called as allowable stress or design stress or working stress, or we can call it as equivalent stress from this notation, sigma E. Now in the similar way, for safe design stress for ultimate strength, sigma 1, which is equal to sigma ut by FOS. Now we know sigma 1 value, which is equal to sigma x plus sigma y by 2 plus square root of sigma x minus sigma y by 2 whole square plus tau xy whole square. So which is also equal to what? Sigma 1, which is equal to sigma yt by FOS. Sigma yt by FOS, which is equal to sigma E, So from the failure concept, the theories of failure concept, so we deduce this equation, that is sigma E, which is equal to sigma yt by FOS, which is equal to sigma x plus sigma y by 2 plus square root of sigma x minus sigma y by 2 whole square plus tau xy whole square. So this is the standard equation with respect to the maximum normal stress theory, which is available in our data handbook, Mahadevan and Balbir Reddy. So the equation number is 2.8a, which is present in page number 21. Okay. Now this theory of failure, which is with respect to the tension or compression, which ignores the shearing effect. So hence these theories of failure, which is applicable for brittle material. Now the second theory of failure is maximum shear stress theory, or which is also called as Guess theory. Now this theory states that the failure of mechanical component subjected to biaxial or triaxial stresses occurs when the maximum shear stress at any point in the components, which becomes equal to the maximum shear stress in the standard specimen of tension test when yielding start. That means when the yielding, that is at yield point, so the maximum shear stress in the standard specimen of tension, which is equal to maximum shear stress of the component which is subjected to the loading condition. So the failure occurs when, according to this statement, the failure occurs when the maximum shear stress, that is tau max, which is become equal to the maximum shear stress at yield point. I am going to take it as tau yt. Now we know that the tau yt, the shear stress at yield point, which is given by normal stress at yield point by 2. So from this we can get tau max, which is equal to sigma yt by 2. Now for safe design, we can consider the factor of safety, that is tau max, which is given by sigma yt by 2 into FOS. So from this sigma yt by FOS, which is called as allowable stress or equivalent stress, so that is sigma E by 2, tau max, which is equal to sigma E by 2. So from this tau max, which is also given by square root of sigma x minus sigma y by 2 whole square plus tau xy whole square, which is equal to sigma E by 2. So if you are going to reduce this equation or simplify this equation, we will get sigma E, which is equal to 2 times of square root of sigma x minus sigma y by 2 whole square plus tau xy square. So further simplification, which leads to sigma E equals square root of sigma x minus sigma y whole square plus 4 tau xy whole square. So which is equal to sigma 1 minus sigma 2, where sigma 1 and sigma 2 are the principal stresses. So this equation which is available in data and book, equation number is 2.8c in page number 22. So this theory of failure, maximum shear stress theory or gust theory, which is applicable for the ductile materials. So coming to next one, the maximum strain theory, which is also called as maximum principal strain theory, or which is also called as Saint-Penance theory. So maximum principal strain, that is the strain corresponding to the maximum principal stress, which is called as maximum principal strain. So the theory states that the failure of the mechanical component subjected to biaxial or triaxial stresses occurs when maximum principal strain at any point in the component, which is going to become equal to maximum strain in the standard specimen of tension test when yielding start. That means when the component which is subjected to combined loading condition, at that case the maximum principal strain which is going to equal to the maximum strain induced in the standard specimen of tension test. So for this, so here epsilon 1, epsilon 2, epsilon 3, these are the principal strains, so which is in 3 directions. Now epsilon max, which is the maximum principal strain, epsilon max is the maximum principal strain, which is given by epsilon 1 plus epsilon 2 plus epsilon 3. Then we also know this epsilon 1 should be greater than epsilon 2, which should be greater than epsilon 3. Then we can consider epsilon max, which is equal to epsilon 1 plus epsilon 2 plus epsilon 3. Then we know that Young's modulus, which is given by linear stress by strain, linear stress by strain. So strain is given by stress by Young's modulus, but we are going to consider the maximum strain at yield point. That's why I am going to take sigma yt, that is strain induced at yield point, which is given by sigma yt by Young's modulus. At failure, according to the statement of this theory, we can say this: the maximum principal strain which is going to equal to the strain induced in the standard test specimen at yield point, that is sigma yt by E. So for safe design, I am going to consider the factor of safety. So that is given by epsilon max, which is equal to sigma yt by E into FOS, that is factor of safety. As we know this, sigma yt by FOS, which is allowable stress or equivalent stress, I am going to take this as sigma E by Young's modulus. So if you are going to reduce this equation or deduce this equation, finally we will get sigma E, which is equal to 1 minus mu times of sigma x plus sigma y by 2 plus 1 plus mu times of square root of sigma x minus sigma y by 2 whole square plus tau xy whole square. So which is in terms of sigma x and sigma y, that is stresses in x direction and y direction. Here mu is Poisson's ratio, that is the ratio of lateral strain by linear strain. Okay, then which is in terms of the principal stresses, which is given by sigma E, which is equal to sigma 1 minus mu times of sigma 2. So which is available in the data and book, equation number is 2.8b in page number 22. So this theory which is holds good for brittle material. The next theory of failure is maximum total strain energy theory or ACE theory. So first of all, what do you mean by strain energy? The energy which is stored in a body due to straining of the material. For example, as we know that, so when we are going to apply some load, so I will take this as deformation, this is resisting force. So when you are going to apply some force on a body, then the body which is going to develop the resisting force. So simultaneously the deformation which is also comes into the picture. When you are going to apply the load, then the deformation and resisting force both will simultaneously occurs. So when you are going to release, that means when you are going to remove the excess load or remove the external load, then the body which regains its original shape. That means under this, the body which is going to store some energy, when you are going to remove the external load, then which is going to gain its original shape. So this energy which is called as strain energy, which is given by sigma square by 2E into volume. Now coming to this theory, the theory which states that the failure of the mechanical component subjected to biaxial and triaxial stresses when the strain energy per unit volume at any point in the component which is going to exceed the volume of the value of strain energy per unit volume which is obtained from standard specimen of tension test. So the strain energy per unit volume which is obtained from standard specimen of tension test which is going to equal or exceeds from strain energy per unit volume of the component which is subjected to combined loading condition, then the failure of the material which occurs. When you deduce this concept, we will get the equation sigma E which is equal to sigma y by FOS which is equal to square root of sigma 1 square plus sigma 2 square minus 2 mu into sigma 1 into sigma 2. This equation which is available in the data handbook, equation number is 2.8E, page number 22. And this theory of failure, the ACE theory, which is holds good for brittle material, and this one which is rarely used. The last theory of failure is shear energy theory or Encke-Van Mises theory, or which is also called as distortion energy theory. According to this theory, the total strain energy or failure of the material, for this the responsible for which is not total strain energy, in that the part of the strain energy which causes the uniform extension, that is change in volume, then another or remaining part which causes distortion, so or shear action. That's why this theory which is called as shear energy theory or distortion energy theory. The theory which states that the failure of the mechanical component subjected to biaxial or triaxial stresses occurs when strain energy of distortion per unit volume in a component becomes equal to the strain energy of distortion per unit volume in the standard specimen of tension test when yielding starts. Okay. So from this, whatever the distortion energy in the component which is subjected to combined loading condition, when which becomes equal to the distortion energy in the standard specimen of tension test, then the failure of the material which occurs. So when you deduce this statement failure concept, then we will get sigma E which is equal to square root of sigma x square minus sigma x sigma y plus sigma y square plus 3 times of tau xy square. Then which is also given in terms of principal stresses, sigma E which is equal to square root of sigma 1 square plus sigma 2 square minus sigma 1 and sigma 2. So which is available in the data handbook 2.8T in page number 22. So from this we are completed. So what you mean by theory of failure and need of theory of failure, and we seen the maximum normal stress theory, then maximum shear stress theory, maximum principal strain theory, maximum total strain energy theory, and shear energy theory or distortion energy theory. This one, the shear energy theory or distortion energy theory, which is holds good for ductile materials.